Audi is bringing back a favorite to India after a long gap. The arrival of the Q3 has been announced and bookings have already started. The Q3 will be launched in two variants, Premium Plus priced at 44,89,000 rupees and Technology Plus at 50,39,000 rupees. And it will complete their Q lineup in the country. Now I am in UK, I have my hands on this new Q3. What can you expect from it is what I'm going to tell you in this short video. Do remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button when you're done watching. Standing in the British countryside on a sunny morning, the Q3 in bright orange looks quite stunning. It's edgier in its design with sharper crease lines and a more chiseled look. The front end is more aggressive with the trademark hexagonal grille that's grown wider with more prominent vertical slats in place of the horizontal ones. More angular LED lamps wrap themselves around the side and carry the distinctive arrowhead LED DRLs. The air intakes are larger and more sharply cut. Around the side profile is a very similar outline, but the surfacing has changed. Their more pronounced shoulders and muscular creases highlight both flanks. Now, while the variant I have here sits on 19-inch alloys, the one in India will have 18-inch wheels. The rear isn't too different, but the lamps are slimmer and come with the trademark dynamic indicator. The car has a solid planted stance and has grown in size as well. It's almost 10 centimeters longer and marginally wider and taller. Space between the wheels has increased as well, and boot space is where you get much more. About 70 liters to be precise, you can actually fit an extra suitcase in. The rear seat has a 60-40 split to open up more room as well. Well, the interior, like the exterior, is edgier. Lots of cuts and contours and curves on this dash, which looks much more modern now. Gone is that upright standing screen. In fact, the touchscreen is integrated into the dash and it looks very much like the Q5. Thankfully, everything is not touch and there are some knobs, especially for the AC control, for the volume control as well. You have the shortcut buttons here for the drive modes too. So yeah, a lot of physical buttons, which is something I really like. You have the virtual cockpit, the steering, the 3-spoke steering with all the controls as well. There are paddle shifters too. In India, you will get the phone box as well with the wireless charging. So yeah, you're going to get a whole host of features like ambient lighting and a 10-speaker sound system as well. Overall, I really like the way that this looks. It's got some nice chrome touches. I love these handles as well. They look really nice and quite different and very easy to open the door as well. Lots of smart modern new touches and an interior I quite like. Now, while you're seeing the variant I've driven in UK, here's a breakdown of the specs that you will get on both variants in India. Now, a whole lot of people back home will also use the rear seat more than the front, so I checked that out too. So as you can see, it's quite a snug back seat in the Q3. First impression is that the cabin is quite narrow, so this is going to be best for 2 people, not really 3. However, if you do have the third passenger, they are going to have to sit with their legs astride this tunnel, and the backrest is quite upright, so not the most convenient. And it will be a tight squeeze with the cabin being narrow. Otherwise than that, the seat itself is quite comfortable. You have good enough under thigh support. There is place to stretch your feet out under the seat in front. Window line is quite high. Window area is a bit small, but you don't really feel hemmed in. And in India, you will have that panoramic sunroof, so that will open it out a bit for, I think, to get more comfortable. I can recline this back seat. There is a slider as well, but as you can see, that's pretty much to open up space in the back because leg room is a bit tight. While it's good enough for me, it's not really for very tall people. That is, if you slide the seat all the way to the front. Otherwise, it's good enough space. In fact, for its compact dimensions, the Q3 does manage space on the inside quite well. Now, after checking out the inside thoroughly, it was time to get going. Now, I won't really be able to tell you about the performance because this is a plug-in hybrid and it is a different engine to the one that we'll see in India. Now, in India, we will see the 2-liter TFSI, and that's an engine that we've always liked. So, yeah, performance should be something to look forward to. What the Indian car will get is the familiar 2-litre TFSI engine with 190 HP and 320 Nm of torque. I experience this engine daily in my own A4 and I can tell you it is creamy smooth and a pleasure to drive. Now the steering in typical Audi fashion veers towards being on the lighter side, but it still gives you good enough feedback and you feel secure. In fact, the car feels pretty planted overall. It is on the softer side and ride quality feels pretty good. Goes over the bumps, potholes really well. It doesn't let you feel much. And in fact, tire size for India is going to make it only better. As said earlier, the Indian car will get a little more rubber on the footprint and the suspension will probably be tweaked too. From what we've seen of the recently launched Audis, it's safe to say you can expect a fine riding car. So this was a short first impression and we hope to get our hands on the Indian car soon and bring you a more detailed review. Until then, what I can tell you is that Audi are offering a 5-year extended warranty and 3-year 30,000 comprehensive service value package for the first 500 customers. Deliveries are expected to begin 2022. So if you're looking for an SUV that's compact enough for the city but fun to drive and comfy, then I suggest you go and book one now.